Yeah, I mean, I think just for young players today, and players that achieve the prospect status, and it's just a real thing right now, and it can I think put expectations on the player that frankly aren't fair, and I think just understanding that the game is difficult, that his contributions just kind of do what you're good at, and that's enough for this team, and that'll help us win. And it's hard. I mean, and so I think Pete just being a part of winning baseball is what he wants, and it's all we're asking for. We're not asking. Today he made a big contribution, but he can make small contributions, and those will be enough at this stage of his career. I think it's important. It's a hard game. It's a hard game for old veteran players. It's a hard game for young players. And today he took a swing that won us the ball game. But tomorrow, a great defensive play is fine. Good base running play is plenty. So that was where the message was centered.
What is that moment like for you as a manager? A big hit in the game, but also a big moment for him too. His first major league hit and a homer. Well,
I guess you judge it almost by the reaction of the other players for how they reacted to it, and I think that was the thrill for me, is how the other players reacted to Pete coming into the dugout, and that's the stuff we're here for.
What did you see from him kind of as he was adjusting from at bat to at bat?
I mean, he punched out 2 at bats and then he hit a homer. I mean, there's nothing. There's not much to, I think. Look, Verlander is going to go to the Hall of Fame, and he's going to go to the Hall of Fame after striking out a whole bunch of people. It happens, right? It happened to a bunch of guys today. He got a pitch he could handle and put a good swing on it.
You kind of mentioned it, but we saw Dansby and met him with a hug. What were kind of some of the other?
Yeah, I mean, it was a bunch of people meeting with that. With it's a hug, but it's a little different hug, right? It meant something.
What about the best unknown outstanding pitcher in baseball, the guy that started for you today? He probably likes being under the radar.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the nature of his personality a little bit, but he's off to a fantastic start, and it's earned. He has pitched well. He is, showing us that hitters don't like his stuff. They are having trouble with it. His fastball is a very good pitch. The two-seam fastball is really giving hitters problems, especially right-handed hitters. He's got enough other weapons to balance it out, and that makes it for a tough at bat. And he's consistent. He battles. He doesn't give you anything for free, and it's all the ingredients that are making him successful.
What do you think of the way the lineup got Verlander out when he did? I mean, Miguel Amaya at bat.
Yeah, I mean, Miguel took a innings with the pitches from him. Mike Tauchman had a bunch of good at bats. Obviously, Nico was on base, a bunch against them, and he made some pitches in the first to wiggle out of it for sure, and credit to him. He made really good pitches, but we did enough to get him out early in the game. And look, they went to some good relievers, and guys have had a lot of success, and we kind of continued to put pressure and eventually broke through.
You talked about getting more length from the start, especially going to this long stretch of games the other day. So to see obviously Javi today with Jordan and Jameson deeper into the game and do it pretty effectively, just what would you think of that?
Yeah, I mean, we pitched just wonderfully this series. Hayden's outing today, going 2 1/3, getting us through the 8th inning. You don't really see outings like that very often. But he's been on the attack as well, and the ball's been on the ground. Done a good job with that. The slider came out and get a big out in the 6th inning with runners in scoring position. So it's a group effort right now from the pitching, and they're doing a heck of a job.
You mentioned Nico, and I know you saw the beginnings of this when he was having bad luck early, but what's it been like watching this stretch? What are you noticing from him?
Yeah, I mean, it's just the consistency of the contact just gives him chances so often, right? So he's just been really consistent with good contact. I think the first game of the series went 0 for 5. He had 3 balls right on the screws. Even today, and he said he's just hitting a lot of balls flush and square. And today he finally found some holes with a couple ground balls, but he put a ball in the gap. I mean, it's been just lots of good contact.